We're still with the migrant crisis. It's the one in, one out scheme, and we have amazing news. Now, you may have heard that whoop-de-doo, pop the champagne corks. We have now returned 4 migrants to France on a scheme that we launched on, I think it was August the 11th. 4. This is where we swap a foreigner. So for each migrant, don't ask me why. I mean, if you understand the one in, one out scheme, if you understand what the point is, for God's sake, give me a call, 0344 499 1000, because for the life of me, I can't work it out. It's not a deterrent. 1,072 migrants came across the channel illegally on Friday, so they weren't deterred. In fact, one newspaper, the Sunday Telegraph, was on the beach. You like this, Gravelines Beach, on Friday morning, watching them all go. The coppers were taking pictures, filming them through their phones, basically going like that, not doing anything. And the Sunday Telegraph spoke to some of these migrants. They said, "What do you think about the one in, one out scheme?" And they were all bursting into laughter.
Really?
Yeah, they were just laughing.
That sums it up. So I think, yeah.
Well, it's not a
you don't laugh, you cry.
Of course it's not a deterrent. There was a cartoon in one of the papers. There was 2 migrants standing on the beach, and one was saying, "I'm not risking this crossing. There's a 33,000 to 1 chance I could be sent back."
Well, yeah, and that really is the scale of ridiculousness. There was one modelling that suggested that if we really wanted this to be a deterrent, we'd have to return 85% of those that are coming across to France. We're nowhere near that. What is it? 1 in 17 best case scenario
best
when
case,
we finally get there.
But it's nowhere near this, because what's happened is the Home Office has lost another appeal today in the High Court because an Eritrean migrant who was about to be deported, he's been granted leave to remain while he continues his case. And of course his case is based, they're all going to the High Court and challenging their deportation under the one in, one out scheme under the terms of the ECHR, the European Convention on Human Rights, because they say they're victims of modern slavery, and it's working. So another migrant successfully challenged his deportation today. So that's 4 out so far, altogether 4. And today, 3 migrants came the other way. The first arrived from France, 3. So that means, mathematically, folks, the population of illegal migrants in Britain, thanks to the one in, one out scheme, has been reduced by whoop-de-doo 1. It's good, isn't it?
999,999 to go. This is barely scratching the surface. This is a ridiculous. This whole thing was desperately cobbled together because they realised that their smashing the gangs narrative had completely
you don't hear that anymore, do you?
No, it's been abandoned. It's been dropped very quickly. Now it's all about this France deal. This is effectively their Rwanda scheme. And as we're already seeing with this Eritrean man that we're not able to remove, you'd think deporting an individual to France is the case study of deportation. It would not face human rights challenges and would not face any concerns. France is a very safe country. If we're not even able to remove an individual to France because of our human rights law and our modern slavery laws, what chance do we really have going forward of removing the large numbers of people to countries of origin and putting in place any strong deterrent on that regard? It's really, really concerning, actually, how pernicious these rules have started to become on such a sort of benign, soft deportation strategy, such as this one in, one out. And then, of course, you get into the fact that, actually, it really doesn't do anything to alleviate the burden on the British taxpayer if we're just having the same number of individuals sent back our way who are actually going to be here now probably for the rest of their lives, inflicting long-term costs on the Treasury as well, because they're not likely to be economically active. They're likely to be sort of very redundant and reliant on welfare for the most of their lives.
Exactly right. Now, Shabana Mahmood, funny enough, in that same interview she gave to ITV News on the back of that deportation to Romania flight, she said that she will be now, and you better get going, but she says she will be, and I quote, ramping up the one in, one out scheme, and she wants to, and this is a direct quote from the Home Secretary, want to get to a point where the numbers that are being removed act as a deterrent and stop people getting onto the boats in the first place. Well, get to a point where the numbers being removed act as a deterrent? Well, one of the migrants interviewed by the Sunday Telegraph last Friday, as they were queuing to leave the beach, and the coppers are taking pictures of them. We're getting a hell of a lot for the £500 million we gave Macron for his cops to patrol the beaches, as in nothing at all. They just watch, wave and go, au revoir, enjoy Britain. One of them said, well, you know, if the one in, one out scheme was to work, they'd have to be returning about 2,000 a week. Now, in their wildest dreams, the Labour government has always said we're shooting for about 40 to 50. That's not a deterrent.
And that's when it's ramped up, and Mahmoud has gone in with a hardline Home Secretary, no nonsense, prepared to completely turn up the apple cart and overhaul the way we approach this issue. You know, you're absolutely right. The solution to the, and I always say this, the solution to the illegal migration crisis does not involve us having to enter any kind of agreement with the French. It requires us to get very nasty, if need be, with countries of origin from these individuals, to obviously remove the ECHR from the ambit of our immigration tribunals, to make appeals and to accept appeals under that basis, and to really just start returning individuals from whence they came. And if there's not a country that we can return an individual to, then to a third country such as Rwanda, but with that added bonus of having left behind the human rights and modern slavery frameworks that have held us back for far too long.
Absolutely. It's just mad. I'll tell you what, folks, give me a call, because the one in, one out scheme is a misnomer, isn't it? You know, we're not sending one in and receiving one, well, sending one out and receiving one in, are we? And it's supposed to be a deterrent. So what would you call the one in, one out scheme more accurately? And remember, this is a family show. Have you got a better name for the one in, one out scheme? I mean, I've got a few, but that would have to be restricted to off air. But seriously, just tell me what you think about it. I mean, what is the point? Seriously, Rob. So even in its purest form, according to Labour, it's this. For every 17 migrants, we take one randomly and say, you're the unlucky one, you're going to get deported back to France. So the idea is, the proposition to migrants in Calais on the northern French beaches is, well, if you come over, you've got a 1 in 17 chance of being returned. Well, that's worth a roll of the dice in anybody's money, isn't it?
It's definitely, and if you are that unlucky one, you know, get sent back to France, and if need be, have another go again as well. And, you know, the people smugglers, as we've been hearing over the last several years, are very canny at adjusting their business model to solve any attempts that the British government does put in place to try and deter people from making those crossings. So I'm no doubt that there would be a kind of, you know, you failed once, you got to try again type offering put out and advertised on these Telegram groups that are really actually the main draw that individuals are being made aware of these opportunities in the UK.
And by the way, just briefly in terms of the northern French beaches, again, a very good piece in the Sunday Telegraph. This was revealed that they're now, since September the 7th, the French police have been stopping less than a quarter of the boats, or less than a quarter of the migrants. And this time last year, August and July last year, they were stopping something like 46%. So it's plummeted to less than a quarter. Through July and August, it was about 31%, so less than a third. It's now down to a quarter. And the other point is that ones that they do stop, they basically don't detain any of them. They just say, right, you get back to the sand dunes. So that's what they do. They just go back to the camps and they come back another day. You know, this is ridiculous, folks. This is ridiculous. We're getting nothing out of France. The one in, one out scheme is Keir Starmer's latest way of hitting the headlines. That's all Smash the Gangs was. It's a snappy phrase. Good for headlines, never did anything. They never say it anymore. Now one in, one out. That's not working. It's just performative nonsense. It's headline hunting. Let me know what you think. The one in, one out scheme. Got a new name for it? Or just explain to me how it's supposed to work, because Robert and I don't know. He's an expert. I'm not, but we just don't know what the hell the point of the one in, one out scheme is. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, but it's costing us a lot of money, of course, if only in legal fees. Home Office lawyers are locked in constant legal battle in the High Court as all these one in, one out rejects fight their cases to stay. I'm a victim of modern slavery. Oh, okay, you can stay then. And they keep losing. It's ridiculous, ridiculous. Let me know. 03444991000.